fingers to the bone. I never get to go home. This is my ever wanted life, manifest destiny. I work my fingers to the bone. I never get to go home. This is my ever wanted life, manifest destiny. Damn, I destroyed myself, but you contributed. I destroyed myself, but you helped. I destroyed myself, but you contributed.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the local Earshot podcasts. This show is brought to you by 13th Step Tone Solutions and Morebands Media. That is yours truly, me, Brad Biggs with 13th Step Tone Solutions and Johnathan Grissom with Morebands Media. Jonathan, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Condenser mic sounds a little weird, but we'll get you there.
Hey, you know, I sometimes sound like a robot anyway, so it's all good.
Got to do what we got to do around here at the local Earshot. It's a beer budget studio, so that's what we're doing around here.
We're a beer budget operation around here.
Well, we have a band we've had a member of the band on previously. Like Before is in with us again. Guys, how y'all doing?
Doing well. How are you? Doing well.
Good. Man, let's introduce y'all individually here. We got Bradley. You've been on the show before. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Staying busy.
Zach Robertson.
I'm Zach Robertson. Yeah, I sing vocals, play guitar. Doing good today.
And Turner Allen.
Play bass, do some background vocals.
Bass player.
You know it.
Kind of quiet guy. Strong. Silent type.
That's how it goes.
Well, let's kind of introduce you guys. People kind of know Bradley a little bit. Turner, where are you from, man?
From Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
What did you pick up on bass from the get-go? Is that like what you kind of gravitated towards?
Well, starting in middle school, about 6th grade, I picked up bass and saxophone. Kind of went from there.
I was a sax player.
Yeah?
Yeah, I moved off it pretty quick, you know. Guitar just calls to you.
It's fair. I stuck through marching band with saxophone, but after that...
Yeah, it loses its... you learn you're never going to be Clarence Clemens. You're just not going to be that guy.
True.
Zach, where are you from, man?
So I graduated from Newcastle. Grew up in Ardmore, but yeah, I originally actually just wanted to be a guitarist for the longest time, but I wrote songs and stuff, so it wasn't the easiest finding a singer, so I kind of just fell into that after time. But
lyrics always been a thing for you, like as far as that?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You know, I used to write stories and stuff when I was younger, and so I think just learning guitar, and then it just kind of turned into writing songs all the time, it seemed like. So.
Well, let's kind of catch people up and take people back as far as like how the formation of the band, when you guys got together, and how it's kind of morphed and become what it is now over the years. I don't know who's doing most of the talking here, guys. Bradley?
I guess so.
All right, you got voted in.
Well, I know that originally Zach and Alex, our former drummer, had been playing several bands together for a long time, and they started like Before-ish, and then Turner had joined the band, and they had another guitar player at the time. This has been about 3-4 years ago. And
so did y'all start during COVID, or
it was a little bit before
right
that?
Yeah, 2019.
Oh man,
yeah. And so there was the four of them, and they kind of split with that guitar player. And Turner shot me a message and was like, "Hey man, want to be in the band?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I want to be in the band." And so that would have been January of 2020, and the four of us rocked that out for about 3.5 years, and it's been good.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see that. One, that you guys are still on about it, because COVID about rolled over a lot of bands. Man.
For sure.
It caused a big roadblock, or not a roadblock, but a speed bump, we'll say, in the live music world. And I know, I will touch on it real quick, because I know it's we want to put it out in the consciousness. You guys are on the search for a new drummer. Jonathan with Morebands Media, he's been trying to put the word out, and we just want to put the word out to people out there that might be listening. If you're out there, if you're a drummer, we're going to be playing a couple of your songs later. They can get an idea. Drummers are difficult to find. They're usually in multiple bands at the same time. That's one of the things that it is very hard to. It's hard enough to get someone who can be in a band. It's a scheduling thing, and it's That's how it is with every band, but
Well,
drummers especially, it's like, man, how many bands are these guys in?
we're not missing a beat. We're gonna keep going. When we still playing shows and stuff, but just trying to find the right guy.
Yeah, that's everything though. I mean, and that's one thing I really like to see in a younger band like you guys coming up is people actually treating it like this is we're having fun, but this is a business. We're trying to make this our thing, you know. And when you get into that, and it starts to, okay, now we're booking shows, and now we're growing and growing and growing. It can be kind of overwhelming sometimes, and it not to say difficult, but it puts people in check. Yep. It happened with me being in a band. I learned pretty quickly that I don't think I want. I love being a musician, but I don't know if I want to be in a band.
Right.
And it's nothing against any guys out there. It's not. It's just once you realize where you stand, it's better to have all the information out there and communicate that because you know you don't. It just is what it is. You know.
Yeah, and it feels like there's a point where, because I'm all for people having fun and having bands and stuff, you know, and everybody do whatever they want, you know, but it's, like, we're kind of at a position now where when we do a local show, we're trying to get everybody we know possible there and stuff, and it's, you know, if I'm going to try to get everybody I know to come out and spend one of their Friday or Saturday nights, then it almost feels semi like a responsibility to me to take this as serious as possible. You know, I don't want to just invite them, and if they know what they're showing up for, that's fine, you know, but I don't want to invite them out to something where I'm just kind of doing it to have a good time, you know. It's like, I feel like there's a bit of responsibility to me to
try to
give them the best thing possible.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, if that's where your head's at, then I can't wait to see where you guys go, man, because that's 90% of it is understanding where that line is, you know. What are some of the things that you've, any of y'all, what are some of the things that y'all have run into throughout this being in a band thing that have been positive? Like, oh yeah, that's what I read about in the magazines, and it actually kind of is that way. And like to the negative, like, oh fuck, they talked about this in the magazines, and it is kind of this way.
Well, I mean, Turner and I have had experiences getting kicked out of bands together. We played in a band at the beginning of college, and we were barely rehearsing, barely playing shows, but we were in a band, and they ended up getting us together to kick us both out of the band. So that was negative, I guess, but it worked out because Turner and I knew each other when this project came around.
Yeah. Well, being kicked out of, I mean, I don't know, as a musician, it's like you're always standing in judgment all the time anyways, so it really just digs a little deeper when you get squeezed out of the very band, like, fuck!
Yeah. Yep.
Any experiences in the studio or anything like that like, what's kind of y'all's process as far as the creative process? Like, if you hit lyrics on, you're like, oh, this has to be a song. Like, how does it formulate as a band versus saying just in your room with an acoustic guitar?
It's probably different for like the individuals. Like, I know if I'm writing at home, I'm kind of just playing acoustic and working on lyrics as they come, and sometimes that process works a little better than others, and I'll have to work on it another day. But I think with the band, a lot of times somebody will bring a part, like a guitar part or something, and then we kind of add the drums and the bass or whatever, like build up at a riff, and then generally Zach will take it and write some lyrics to it a little later on down the road when it gets some more bones of its own.
Yeah.
Is that a saying, bones of its own? I don't like that one bit.
Okay. Well, maybe structure. I don't know. Bones of its own. Oh, man. Yeah, that is kind of, I don't know.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No. I hated that I said that.
Okay. Well, we can...
No, I'm just kidding.
Edit it in post.
No.
Well, I'm always curious because it's... like that. Sometimes you have bands and they'll just get in the same room, and the next thing you know, a song's written, and other situations where each guy kind of brings his own little piece and we all work it out. It's there is no right or wrong. There's just what some people do and what other bands do, and that's just the way it falls sometimes. As far as turning it into, like, when you guys have rehearsed it enough and you're like, all right, this is something we're gonna we're going to release or put out in the consciousness, release it, blah, blah, blah. With the way it is now, how do y'all approach that, like, business end wise? I mean, we were talking about how Spotify works and how all that shit divides up, but there's more to it than that too. I mean, the online stuff is only one channel, and it's like, really, at the end of the day, getting out there and playing in front of people is still kind of the best way to do it.
Right.
I mean, in our experience, we've had the most success and traction from being out playing shows.
Yeah, there's a lot to, we'll try to push the pushing the Spotify playlist is kind of like, it's for us so far, it's just kind of like catching sand,
Yeah.
So it's like if we're constantly pushing on the playlist, we've got it up to where we've had like 1,000 monthly listeners for a time, but if we get busy focusing on other things, it just dwindles down,
Drops
down.
off.
It's like you got to keep submitting over and over again those playlists. So that's kind of harder. But yeah, I would, like Brad says, 99% of our success, I think, is from been playing shows and meeting people there. But it comes easy because we like talking to people. So and that's helped us a whole bunch, is making friends.
Well, and as far as like there are bands that are kind of only known as an online presence.
Yeah.
It's weird. That's kind of the world we're in now. And then so it's always, I don't know, it's much more intimate and much more visceral to go see a band live and do what they do. Right. And when it comes to releasing new music, the thing with now is it seems like the singles market is just sort of where it's at.
Yeah.
Is that what's y'all's experience with that versus putting out like an EP or a whole album or something?
So our first 2 releases were EPs, and then right now we're doing singles. We've got 3 singles. I don't know, it's hit or miss. We didn't have like really anybody that knew about us when the first one came out, and then there was like 3 more people that knew about us when the second one. So it's kind of hard to gauge, but we do think that we're having more success with just putting out a single versus 5 songs at once.
Yeah, because what we ran into with the last 2 EPs is it's taken so long just saving up that money to be able to record, so we didn't want to wait a whole nother year between releasing stuff again. So it's like, well, maybe let's put out less at a time, but more often,
Well, that's one thing I've noticed, a trend, not a trend, it's just what some bands do, other bands don't, is just because of that reason. If there's not a big budget behind them, man, an album, 9, 10, 12 songs, it's super expensive, and if you want to have it properly mastered and all that process, it's like, yeah. Whereas some of your bands starting out or mid-tier level bands are like, well, we can put out a single every quarter, and at the end of the year, we'll press an EP, and then we can tour that or play, let's try and sell that. And it seems like the online Spotify and all those channels have kind of followed suit. And it's interesting. I'm interested to see how it goes because there's still bands out there putting out albums, and it's just like, I love the old school, and I'm analog, and I'm the tube amp guy. I'm that guy, but I ain't bought a CD or an album in years. The last time when I do, it's at a show. I take that back. I bought Cedar's CD at Norman Music Fest, but that's the only place I buy them is at the merch table.
Yeah.
What are y'all seeing out there as far as physical copies go? I'm curious about this because I don't know anything about it, and it's super expensive to print them. And it's like, fuck, do they even sell?
I mean, I see a lot of local guys with CDs. I know that we have physical CDs, it's like a combined of our first 2 EPs. And like the older people buy those. Nobody I don't know.
How dare you, sir?
I was just gonna say a number. I was gonna just say like 50 plus usually always want a CD.
Yeah. But I mean,
drop the word though.
Yeah, we're hey, cut that. No.
Old people.
We like obviously we're not pressing vinyl, but I do notice like when I go to see a bigger scale show that those guys often have vinyls.
Yeah, and that's like the most
made a resurgence. Yeah,
very expensive though. Very expensive to press vinyl. I don't know, man. It's
I've also seen cassettes.
I've seen a comeback of that too.
Cassettes.
Really?
Actually, cassettes are really big inside the punk rock community, inside the backyard shows is what we call them.
Mm-hmm.
So like in Southside stuff, like during the whole summer, we just go back there and just bands just go crazy and do crazy shit. There's just a bunch of people drinking and stuff,
Nice.
having a good time. So and that's every
cool.
summer.
Oh wow.
More
But they
things
have
change.
tons of tapes. Like Primal Hate had like a tape, and I'm like, who has a tape deck to play that? And he's like, I do.
Yeah.
Like, cool, you're the only person. I don't own one.
No.
Dude, I when I saw that, I was surprised as fuck. And like I've seen the tapes that have the little, it's a tape, but it's actually a digital thing. It's got a little cord attached.
Oh
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But then I was seeing people actually releasing cassette tapes, and I'm like, I don't even know if I have a tape deck. If I was to buy that, I don't even think I could play it. I
Right.
don't think anything I have has a tape deck on it. But you know, and I get the nostalgia to a degree, but I don't think I'd be buying cassette tapes anytime soon.
I don't think I've ever had anything that would play a cassette tape.
It's been a really long time since I.
Y'all make me feel old as shit. Right
Sorry.
Would you like to buy a CD?
Oh no.
Womp womp womp. Oh, actually, yeah, probably. Well, hell. On that note, let's play a couple songs. And what do we got here? Take Me Back. Well, you want to play them one at a time, or maybe we dissect them in between, and then get that. I mean, we got 3 songs here, everybody. We got Take Me Back. We've got Ocean Tears, and we've got the new one, When I'm With You. That's available now on streaming, right?
Right.
Available
Correct.
now, or wherever you stream.
Let me.
Going down this lonely road, locomotive quickly got lost in snow. You can see them now, they scream on my mouth. Love and hate and midnight drive. Dirty secret that you don't have to hide. So come on, baby. Whoa, come on now. Take me back, take me back. Lord, take me back. So take me back to all those days when life saw the fun of me and all I knew was my own. I said take me back to all those days when words make choice to remain. I wasn't worried back in the day. Take me back to all those days I could give a damn chance to say I knew was those days. Living fast and living free. Running past all these restricted streets. You can't stop me, huh? 'Cause I ain't ever gonna die. Lido says, corporation on its knees, rowdy thugs. The need to make ends meet, this life's trail of the evil that it brings, babies at home. Kiss them back and watch them grow like the years just slip away. Ocean tears, keep your mind at bay. Blank stares, checked out for another week. Body's there, but you're focused on the peak. Work is bare. A fix takes some technique. Life is fair. Solution seems to speak like the years just slip away. Ocean tears, keep your mind at bay. Like the years just slip away. Ocean tears, keep your mind at bay. All in all, it seems to cast away hopes and dreams from our yesterdays. Maybe someday it'll find a way. Being bliss light as the time sways. Well, secret lives will always on the walls. Population strives. Well, privacies of the night. Worker bee shrouded in a cloak, carefree. Not taken by a stroke. Like the years just slip away. Ocean tears, keep your mind at bay. Like the years just slip away. Ocean tears, keep your mind at bay. On and on it seems to cast away hopes and dreams from our yesterdays. Maybe someday it'll find a way. Being bliss light as the time sways. Cast away all your doubt. Another day's on the rise. The sun will rise again. Another day begins. Who am I to know? Na 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 na. friends surrounding me in the company. We discover so much more. Gaslit party on the 7th floor. Caught up in this feeling, I want more. We'll run, we'll run, we'll run forevermore. Chasing every moment with you. When I'm with you, I feel okay. When I'm with you, I feel no pain. When I'm with you, I lose myself. When I'm with you, spinning round and round, here we go. Spinning round and round, hit the floor. We'll give you everything, but you want more. Give you everything, take my life. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. When I'm with you, I feel okay. When I'm with you, I feel no pain. When I'm with you, I lose myself. When I'm with you, spinning round and round, here we go. Spinning round and round, hit the floor. We'll give you everything, but you want more. Give you everything, take my life.
All right, that was "Take Me Back," Ocean Tears, and "When I'm With You." How did, especially the new one, "When I'm With You," definitely. How did that one come to fruition here?
So, actually with that one, a lot of the guitar was our buddy Alex came up with. At least the structure, the whole backbone kind of the guitar was him. I wrote the lyrics on that one. The lyrics are kind of like an inside story. It almost sounds like kind of like it's about a girl or something, but it's not. It's more of kind of like a love-hate relationship with being caught up with partying or different stuff like that, So it's just like a story of like a different time, down at spring break or different stuff like that,
Story songs.
Story songs.
Story songs. Well, I mean, that's cool, man. It's like there's songs can tell a story, and some songs can be very abstract. It's just that's why I always like to hear it from the songwriter themselves, and then I also just like to hear from people like, well, what's that song like? What does that mean to you? Because it's different for every single person. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are good songs, man. I was surprised to hear that "Take Me Back" was as far back as 2013. So, as far as when someone comes to see you guys live, do you run the whole gamut? You bring in the stuff from back then on your set list all the way to the new stuff, or do you try to keep it more new and fresh? What do you guys like to do there?
We like to do a little mixture of both, like the popular ones from like the first EP, and then we're bringing some new songs that he had written years ago to like relearn it and
Really,
work it out.
It kind of depends on the show,
Mhm.
because we play the Diamond Ballroom. Sometimes we've got 30 minutes or 45, and then some nights we'll play for 3 hours. And at those shows, there's a lot of covers, and we're going to play all the before originals.
Yeah,
you know?
you got to fill in all the space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're playing 30 or 45 minutes, we're going to try to usually play one cover. We tend to feel like it's important to get a cover in there, a song that everybody knows and can have a good time with. But then we're going to try to do whatever the newest one that people are liking or what's about to come out, as well as, I don't know, a few from the old EPs. But yeah, it really depends on the show and what's new or what's happening at the time.
Yeah. Well, and it depends on who you're playing with too. I mean, you guys have had some pretty good national bands come through that have taken you guys on. What was y'all's most recent? Was Diamond Ballroom, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Who was that with?
Texas Hippie Coalition.
Right, Joey,
Yeah.
Joey,
Joey
God.
and the Rado brothers, and
Awesome.
Romo. It's Romo, and a lot of Romo.
Mm-hmm.
I love those guys. And Joey, if you're listening, man, come see us again, man. We love you over here. So, let's talk some gear real quick before we get out of here. Bradley, last time you were here, you were running a Gretsch. Still running the Gretsch?
Usually the Gretsch is my go-to. It's a Sparkle Jet. I think it's a vintage 89 Select. I think that's what it's called. I also do the Zach Myers PRS SE. I've got a couple of those that I usually bring out. One is my like second guitar. We play down a half a lot, and so one of them I keep in standard for. There's a couple standard songs, just kind of switch it. Rocking the Marshall Origin 20 half stack. That's pretty much my setup.
Straight in? I mean, no pedals?
Well,
Let's talk some pedals.
a lot of pedals. I've got some Walrus pedals, MXR phaser, Cusack reverb. I don't even know. Boss chorus, Keeley distortion. Just got a new fuzz built. Morley wah. Kind of all over the place.
Well,
You're good
shit.
with the course. Of course. Good.
I might have to break up some of my... I got some kits in there. I might have to just go ahead and... I might build you one just so you can go out and tell this crazy guy in Oklahoma built you a pedal.
I think we should do that.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I built one for Chris Gomez with Perseus.
Oh yeah.
It was a delay pedal, I believe. Delay or maybe reverb, I don't remember. But no, I was like, I don't even think this thing will hold up, man. He beats the shit out of gear. I mean, he's a hard player. And so far it's working. I'm like, I can't believe it still works, but awesome. So
That's really cool.
I just play a little Walrus delay. I wanted like a small pedal that had a built-in tap, and Walrus had one, so it's been perfect.
shout out to those guys. That's one reason I'm not so keen on building pedals as a business model, because we have 3 of the top brands right here in Oklahoma, and it's a little too close for comfort to be trying to break into that market. We got Keeley, who's in my opinion top of the
Keeley's
top.
awesome.
Yeah, Walrus and Old Blood Noise.
Old Blood Noise, yeah, Brady Smith, that's
Yeah.
a good dude.
Good people.
Mhm.
Good people. I've been wanting to get them on. I had Bailey Gilbert on as a musician. She works for the company. But I've reached out to them, and we had tried, and it's kind of fell apart. And then hell, they're growing, and yeah, man, good for them, man. I'm happy to hear it.
Isn't there a local guy with the last name Reed who makes pedals?
Kyle
as well?
Reed.
Yeah.
He's right here in Norman. He was on the
Okay.
show. Oh gosh, a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he built.
Last,
He builds
months.
amps that are like I built an amp from a kit, like the little 50s amp. I built it, and they sent me the parts, and I was able to construct it. Like he actually, he wires them and does all the science shit, and it's awesome. So
Wow.
if you want to, if anybody out there would like to, go over to McClelland Audio. He's up. I think he's there a couple days out of the week, but you got to set up an appointment.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're right here in Norman, and dude, he's got good shit. He plays a lot of jazz. His style's more kind of jazz in that area.
Okay.
And yeah, they played Norman Music Fest and all that. But oh yeah, if you want custom amp, check McClelland Audio and Kyle Reed Audio out. Ooh. Turner, Gear Talk, go.
I rock a Ampeg cab with a Mark bass head, and I play usually a 5-string Squire jazz basses. A couple of them that I've redone, like repainted, and reworked on.
That I repainted.
Okay,
Just one.
He spray painted.
I'll say I've done a few of them, but Brad did help me with one. But then I run through I have a Sans amp pedal that's been pretty solid for me. I do a Walrus compressor, and then right now I've been using Brad's new fuzz pedal that was made by PH, the drummer for the Refreshments or Roger Klein, the Peacemakers. So that's my setup.
Hell yeah.
As of right now.
Well, if y'all could, maybe we can put it out into the ether, into the consciousness. If y'all were to get like a sponsor gig, like who would you want to be flying the flag of? Dream, we're talking top level dream job type sponsorship.
Paul Reed Smith.
PRS?
Yeah.
Yeah? What about amps?
I mean, I've been rocking Marshall for a while and I like it. Played some old Fenders that are cool, but I'm not the amp head I wish I was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's loud, fuck it, you know. What about you?
I would probably say like Music Man for like instrument wise, and then I'm digging the Ampeg route
Yeah.
with like amp wise, but
I wish I could talk about those with you. I don't know a lot about Ampegs, honestly.
I don't know either. I'm also not really like an amp guy.
Does it go to 11?
I just look for the most simple heads that just like tones and then volume. That's about it. I don't really mess with it too much. So
yeah, the fewer the knobs on them suckers, sometimes the better, because you can get in the woods sometimes.
Kind of how I ended up with this thing. Because initially we had like a whole on mixer, and I mean it was a pain in the ass to try to make that thing like record an entire show.
Well, guys, where are we going from here? It's May. This will drop next week's like the 17th, I think.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here as far as future plans heading into summer, fall, closing out the year?
Well, When I'm With You just came out a couple weeks ago. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever else you guys are streaming. There is a music video in the works for that song. We're anticipating having that wrapped up before too long. There's 2 more singles coming. Think that those might be June or July, and then August or September, something like that.
Hopefully 2 more music videos with those 2. That'd be cool.
We'd like to do some more videos. But
So y'all are going to do a video and a release for the next 3 releases?
hopefully.
Nice.
That's the
Yeah,
plan.
with any luck,
That's why we do all these long cover shows, just to pay for that. You know?
Content.
Well, that's the fact, though, man, and that's one thing. When we were covering Norm Music Fest, I bought this camera to do that, and it was shocking how much content and pictures and all that I got. And I was telling everybody, I'm like, shit, I got like 1,600 pictures to go through, and they're like, "That's it? That's all you got?"
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Woo! I got a lot to learn, man.
I mean, at the end of the day, we have a lot of like recording and releasing music. We love it, and like the videos are relatively new for us. We've only got a handful out, but we've got a guy named Tommy from Hauser Mouse Media that shoots our videos for us, and we have a lot of fun working with him and doing the videos, and it's just different for us. We haven't really done that before this last like couple years, I guess. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see bands that are out there really just doing the damn thing and making it happen, despite all the shit you hear about how you ain't gonna never make no money being in rock and roll. It's difficult. It's difficult, but it's difficult. Any business is difficult to start off.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of that too. So, Bradley, Bradley,
You're Brad.
I'm Brad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You fucked me up there, man.
He goes by Joe as well.
We're all
I
Brad
come in.
here.
Brad.
Brad.
It's like that Spider-Man meme.
Bradley, Zach, Turner, thank you guys for coming in, man. We got upcoming shows. If you guys out there would like to see it like before in action, we've got Friday, May 19th at Core 4 Brewing. That's in Oklahoma City. We've got Saturday, May 20th at Howling Mutt Brewing in Denton, Texas. We got Friday, June 2nd in Moore. That's to be announced. Any idea on that one?
Oh,
guys?
that's it's like a Eats and Beats kind of thing. It's out there at the station.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's usually like 1,000 people there. They break out the food trucks and all kinds of stuff. So
Sweet. Yeah, hell, I might have to go see my buddies over in Moore and check that out. Friday, June 2nd in Moore. Saturday, June 3rd at the Booby Trap Bar in Topeka, Kansas. Saturday, June 10th at TJ Leland's in Pittsburgh, Kansas. And July 4th, I'm assuming, is probably a big 4th of July party.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out at
down here more.
we were able to score the Moore 4th of July show.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah,
So was that like a park or where's that?
at Buck Thomas. Yeah,
Buck Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that'd be a good gig.
Yeah, I just called up City Hall. So she's like, okay, yeah, sure.
Hell, sometimes you really don't know until you ask.
Yeah.
You know? Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show,
Thank you
man.
for
We
having us.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
And we will, anything you guys have that's coming up, send it to me or Jonathan, and we'll try to spread it out there as much as possible.
Yeah. Thank you.
We really
Thank you,
appreciate it,
guys.
guys. Jonathan, if guys out there want to help us, let them know how they can do that.
So the Local Earshot podcast, we run on a mixed system of sponsorship and the value for value system. So if you want to sponsor a show, then you can go over to thelocalearshot.com. There's a tab that says notes and contact. So you can contact or use those links and just get a hold of me, and then we can talk about how we do sponsorships and how much it costs and all that kind of stuff. The 3 T's of the value for value system is time, talent, and treasure. So we value everybody's time for listening. We know that there's like millions of podcasts out there, but there's not very many local music podcasts out there, and we're out here working to actually get more eyes on these artists. And so that leads us to our second T. If you're an artist and you want to be on the show, then you can reach out to me at john@thelocalearshot.com or Brad on our Instagram page, Local Earshot. And then we can get you scheduled to come on the show and just talk about music. Our third T is treasure. So if you want to donate to the show, if you feel that you got value from the show and that you want to help us out and kind of help us grow this thing and get to our ability to actually be able to put on shows and help out all these artists to grow and build their careers, then you can donate at thelocalearshot.com, and you'll see a link there, and just click on it, and then we take Cash App, we take crypto, we take any type of things that are money. We also have a link tree that has all of those links. So thank you for listening.
Love y'all. See y'all. Bye-bye.